Today I'm going to use the Sony digital camera to illustrate how to troubleshoot and repair some common problems affecting digital cameras of all models and makes, including camera not powering on, not keeping date and time when you switch batteries or power off the camera, and the flash unit doesn't work. So first, you can see from this disassembled unit, there is a plastic block which contains the flash unit, and inside it is a 400 volt electrolytic capacitor, which you have to be very careful when handling. Ideally, you don't want to touch the two lids with your hand without discharging it first. It's better to use a 5 watt 1000 ohm resistor to discharge it before working on it. And now you can see the lithium ion battery, which is hidden beneath the flash unit, and that is responsible to keep the system date and time and setting when the batteries are removed, so you don't have to reset it every single time when you change the batteries. So after I remove the case, now there are two little screws holding down this navigation control board. So I have to remove these two screws, which I did earlier, and then this way will flip open and you can flip over the LCD, and you can see there are two more screws, 1 and 2, holding the frame, the metal frame in place. And when you remove the metal frame, you will be able to access the lithium backup battery and the electrolytic capacitor. So here are... With the screws removed, I'm going to remove the metal plate protecting the PCB. And once it's exposed, you will see on the right side there's a white label showing the parts, such as the two connectors on the top and the two fuses on the bottom, labeled F001 and F002. And whenever you have a problem with the camera not powering on, even with fresh batteries, it is an important step to check the fuses first. And if they have continuity, then you can perform other troubleshooting. So according to the diagram, we found the fuse. This is the connector 001, and this is connector 801. And here's a resistor or capacitor, and these are the two fuses, which are very tiny, and they're in SMD package parallel to each other. They will be very hard to find if you need to replace them, and you can use a continuity test on them to see if they're good. And I just used continuity test and they turned out to be good, so I don't have to worry about the fuse for now. So now you should be able to remove this part of the camera with the lens and the sensor easily. You can detach it, and the part that contains the electrolytic capacitor will be exposed. With optics and sensor unit removed, now you just see the PCB and the flash unit. The flash unit in this model is separate into two pieces: the light on top and the charging unit, which is the electrolytic capacitor on the right side. And like I said before, whenever you work with the electrolytic capacitor, make sure you discharge it first before touching it. And in this unit, you actually have to desolder it before removing it. Once you desoldered the capacitor from the flash unit, if you are having a problem with your flash, it's a possibility to remove and replace it to repair it. And if you're not having a problem with your flash unit, here is the lithium-ion rechargeable battery exposed. This looks like a regular watch battery, but it's a little bit different because it's rechargeable and it has two metal tabs already soldered on it, so you don't go and buy just a battery and then try to solder the metal tabs. Instead, you buy it with metal tabs. And then you have two contacts which you can solder onto the PCB. And this type of battery, you can find them from electronics specialty stores, online, on Amazon, on eBay, and they're not too difficult to find. And this battery is responsible for keeping the date and time when you have the camera powered off or when you switch the batteries.